Happy Thursday, everybody. We have a nice long workout created by yours truly, so I hope you enjoy it. We're jumping right in. We're gonna start out with some row, bike, ski intervals, get you nice and warm, ready to go for part 2, which is going to include wall walks, biking, and then you're gonna alternate through a few different core movements, okay? So let's take a look at the wall walk first. You're gonna start laying down on your stomach, feet up against the wall. You're gonna start out with a push-up. You're gonna take a really big step, get both feet on the wall, and then start working your way into the wall. Ideally at the top, only the nose and toes are touching the wall, okay? I don't wanna see belly and thighs on the wall, only nose and toes. Then you're gonna walk it all the way back down until you're laying on the ground to finish out your rep, okay? Now, if you're not comfortable going that high, you can just step your feet up, right? I did my push-up, step my feet up. Maybe I take a couple steps. I'll look for my toes for a second to make sure I'm stacked, and then you can walk yourself back down, always laying down to finish your rep, okay? So just go as high as you're comfortable with and do your best. You got it. After our wall walks, so we're gonna hop on the bike, and then we're gonna rotate. We have hollow rocks, arch ups, seated pike ups, and L-sit holds, okay? The hollow rock is like you're the bottom of a rocking chair. Ideally, we're in this nice stretched out position, doing little rocks. Now, if your shoulders start to drop down towards the ground, reach your arms for your sides. And if your low back starts to come up, you can either tuck one or both knees. The easiest version would be to hold on to the back of your knees and just do your little rocks in this position, okay? Maybe you let go, maybe you extend the legs, and then ideally arms overhead. So do what you can on those. Our next one is gonna be an arch up. So other way, we gotta work the back side as well. Lay on your stomach, also called Supermans. So you've probably seen these before. Laying all the way down. Bonus points if you can keep your feet all the way together and arms extended by your ears. You're gonna lift and lower, lift and lower. Okay, pretty straightforward on that one. Number 3, we've got seated pike ups. Now I'm really picky on this one, okay? We're working that compression strength, the ability to fold yourself in half, okay? Which helps on things like toes to bar or just general core strength, okay? So for this one, I want your hands at least by your knees. Our main goal is to lean forward. I'm gonna round the upper back, push my hands into the ground, and then ideally hover both heels off the ground. Now my heels aren't gonna touch the ground until I'm done with my reps, so don't just lift and collapse, lift and collapse. I'd rather see you do one leg at a time and maintain this position with the chest forward as opposed to leaning back and trying to lift. Okay, that works kind of different muscles. I really wanna work on that compression. So lean forward, scale to one leg at a time as needed. Our last core movement here is gonna be an L-sit on parallettes. Whenever you use the parallettes, the distance apart should be the distance from your elbow to your fingertip. Okay, so I'm gonna space mine out, elbow to fingertip. Then I'm gonna go in between. Now this is another movement where we wanna work on that compression, that leaning forward. So if you need to tuck your knees, totally fine, just do your best. I'm gonna start out by grabbing the parallettes. I'm gonna push my upper back up so it's really rounded like a scared cat. All right, now I'm pushing down into the parallettes. I'm gonna come up to my tippy toes, start out by tucking my knees in, see I'm leaning forward, and then if you can, you're gonna straighten out your legs and try and hold that position. Either one leg, both legs, or like I said, you can go to that tuck. But let's really focus on that leaning forward and rounding your upper back, okay? Getting nice and strong. We're gonna finish off our workout today with some ATG mobility movement. We've got some toe elevated Jefferson curls. You can use a dumbbell, you can use a kettlebell. You can even, if you have flexible hamstrings, you can put your slant board on top of a box. Just be safe, okay? Toes go at the edge of the slant board. The toe elevation is just gonna give you a little extra stretch in your hamstrings and calves, posterior chain in general. Now this is like the opposite of a deadlift. Don't keep your back straight. We wanna tuck the chin first. You're gonna round the upper back, round the mid back, round the low back, fold over, let the weight pull you down at the bottom, and then we'll reverse it on the way up, okay? So low back tucks under, mid back, upper back. Take your time with this one, okay? It's not something you're supposed to rush through. Our second movement is gonna be an ATG split squat. Now weight is optional on this one. We're really going for range of motion. So I'm gonna start in a long lunge. The main goal is at the bottom to get the calf and the hamstring to touch each other and then stand up all the way. So you wanna drive that knee forward, touch the calf and the hamstring together, and then stand it all the way up. Now, if you can't get the range of motion on the ground, you can scale with a slant board. We would use it this way. We have those little heel elevator pad things too, which are made, that's what those are made for. It's gonna help you get into that position. And then you can also elevate your foot on a box or a bench. But like I said, I want contact. That's the main goal of this movement, okay? So find a way that works for you. Our last movement for the day, I know this is a lot, bear with me. We've got some seated good mornings, okay? You can do this with a plate, you can do this with a barbell on your back, you can do it with no weight, but it's gonna look like this. I'm gonna choose the barbell. I'm gonna have a seat on my bench, a little bit far back. My feet are gonna go wide, but my knees are staying out. You'll see my toes are slightly in front of my knees on this one, so make sure they're not back here. All right, from here, I'm gonna keep my back nice and flat. I'm gonna try and lower my chest all the way down to the bench with a flat back, and then sit up all the way from there. Okay, so you can just go as far as you can, but really work that range of motion, trying to get the chest flat on the bench. All right, good luck.